Welcome to $1 Million Website, the private podcast for SwiftSites franchise partners, where we show you how to scale beyond custom work and finally experience the freedom that you got into this business for in the first place. Now, if you don't know, my name is Jason Gracio, and I went from making $26,000 my first year doing custom websites to generating over $1 million within a 24-month period once I perfected a scalable system. And this podcast, it's all about how I did it. So welcome. And if you're not a franchise partner, we still welcome you. We, of course, release licenses throughout the year, and so we'll have different opportunities for that. But what I want to say right now to my franchise partners is wholesale. That's what I want to dive into this podcast about, because it's a different way to think about websites. It's a completely different way, especially for me. But it was something that it just opened up so many opportunities in the business, like financially, but also just in how I viewed what I do. So here's the story. When I figured out the system and I had the software that all of my partners get to scale a web design business, I was selling to end users. So we work with coaches at SwiftSites, and so I was working with a lot of coaches, and it was great. Right? Like business grew. We were working with a lot of clients. We were generating hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it was building websites for the people who would use the website. But then, and I'll change names just for privacy's sake, but we'll say Jenny. I came across someone named Jenny and told her a little bit about what we did, right? So we connected. She asked what I did, I explained it, and then I asked what she did. And it turned out that she worked with coaches. So I thought, oh, well, that's great. Now, my first thought was, how could we serve you as far as like a referral commission? Do you want to promote our service, and then we can maybe make some, we'll close some sales, and then we can send some money your way as a referral partner. But then we thought of a new idea, which is, how about we include a website with what I'm offering, and then I pay you directly, but at a smaller rate, which is exactly how the wholesale industry works. So you create a widget, you go to a big box retailer, say you go to Target, Target pays you a much smaller price, but then they sell a lot of it, right? And hopefully you make it up in scale. So that's the idea, is that you created a thing, you then sell it to someone at a lower price than normal, and then they offer it to their audience. Well, yes, you can do it with widgets. You can do it with paper towel, and you can do it with, anything, right? Like that was just, I'm looking at that. So, but you can also do it with websites. So that really, it opened my eyes to what you can do with a scalable model. Now, could you do this if you were doing custom website design? No, it wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work. You couldn't charge 50% your normal rate, even though the website is the same, right? Because if you were doing custom, you're still putting in the same amount of hours and work, and you're still hiring people. Your costs don't change. But with a scalable system, with a website that has a hard cost of a few $100s and none of your time, because you have a builder, or you're doing it, but it's much faster, it takes you a day, you can afford to do this because with this model, there's infinite scale. That means every additional client doesn't cost you anything. Whereas custom design, you have a limit, you have a ceiling. I can work with 10 people, and if 5 of those people paid me half as much as I normally make, that's not good. But with a scalable model, you can work with 5 million people. And so it doesn't matter if someone pays you $1 and someone pays you $5,000, it's all profit. Now, of course, not $1, but say 500. That's why this works. So I want you to realize that there are people out there in your markets who want to include a website as part of their offering, but they don't want to build it. They don't know how to build it. Really, what a lot of people are forced to do is just tell people to go look. But now with you, what they can say is, a full all-in-one done-for-you website is included. And this is what Jenny did. So what Jenny did was she was selling a coaching program. And what she would do is bring in new coaches and teach them a process by which they could grow their coaching business. She did it successfully a long time, but then when we met, she realized what would really help is if all of my clients had a rock-solid website. Because up to this point, people were getting some just, you know how it is. You just send people out into the wilderness and say, get a website. They came back with a lot of different things. But how great for Jenny that all of her clients would now have the same website, built the same way, not of course the same website, because people had different branding and they had different colors and fonts, pictures and words, but now they knew they had a rock solid system. Like, this is all the pages a good website should have. It's structured in a way that converts, and it helped Jenny's clients get more results. So there's another perk, right? So Jenny not only could say, you join my program, you get a website included. Don't even worry about going out and spending $10,000 on a website. The website you need to make this work, it's already included. And then it just so happens the website was built the right way, so the clients executed Jenny's system and got results. So I, in that moment, became a wholesaler. Now, I still sold websites to clients individually, right? Retail. That was great. Booming business. But now I had a whole other arm of my business, which is selling websites at a discount to partners who then would add them to their own offer. So with Jenny, we were typically charging $4,000 for a Swift site. Jenny paid us $2,000. So she paid $2,000, and then when our clients were ready, they would come to us. We treat them just like one of our clients, bring them through our whole process. Our costs were around $500. So we were profiting $1,500 per website. But again, we didn't do any work. It was all profit after the first 500. So, and all we did, this was the sweetest deal I've ever had. Jenny would send an email. She would simply say, invoice me. Here's the client name and email. We'd invoice Jenny. She'd pay right away, because you're not dealing with end users, you're dealing with business owners. So she paid on time. And then when the client was ready, they came to us, we built their website, and then they were as happy as can be. One partner, Jenny, we've done this with many, but one brought in over $100,000 in business. And that's our take, right? So $2,000 each in 1 year, just 1 year. She added $100,000 to our bottom line, and we were a wholesaler. Now, this is something I never even thought about when I started doing custom websites. Like, that doesn't make sense, right? But with this model, it does. So you can do this. There are people who want to include an all-in-one, done-for-you, beautiful, highly effective website in their offer. And by offer, I simply mean what they sell to people. But they don't know how to do it. They don't have anyone to do it. They don't want to do it themselves. You can be that person. So what you can do in your industry is just look for anyone who is teaching your end users. So if you work with VAs, who's teaching VAs? If you work with therapists, who's teaching therapists or educating therapists or graduating therapists or certifying therapists? If you work with coaches, who is certifying coaches? Who's working with coaches? There's so many mentors. There's so many people who help your end user that you can reach out to those people and say, I have a great opportunity, which is, would you like to offer your clients a website worth thousands, but you actually pay me just a small wholesale price, and then you can include it, or you can even sell it? That's what's possible here. So I just wanted, all I want to do in this message is just open your eyes to a new way of thinking about websites. Retail, of course, you stick with that. But then you've got another revenue stream, which is wholesale. You find people who are already serving your end user. End user simply means, like for me, it's coaches. We build websites for coaches. The end user is coaches. If you work with therapists, speakers, authors, just ask yourself, who is serving them? Who's teaching them? Because they would love to include a website in their offer because it helps them stand out. One of our partners, what she loved is it helped her stand out because no one else really was in her space was doing that. And now she could say, unlike everyone else who says you're on your own for the website, we actually include it. It's all included. That's a really strong selling point. So wholesale. The scalable model makes wholesale not only does it work, it's incredibly profitable. Sorry, my words are, I'm just like, you got to do this. Yeah, so that is what I want you to take away from this. The scalable model, the way we do it at Swift, the way we're teaching you with the system and the software, put it together, and you've got something that can scale, which means you can sell wholesale. So you can sell websites to partners at a wholesale rate and still make tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Okay, that is the message I have for you today, just to open your mind a little bit more to what is possible with what you've got in your hands. When you can build a website in a day, you can scale and you can wholesale. Now, if you're not a franchise partner, in the next few months, we are going to open up another batch of licenses. We're only opening a certain number ever. We are going to release a few more licenses in the next few months, so stay tuned. We'll have more information on that. But if you are a partner, I want you to start thinking, open your mind to what's possible. The model you have in your hands, you can scale and you can wholesale. All right, I'll talk to you next time. Bye.